Identical twins separated at birth reunite in Hong Kong to avenge their parents and reclaim their fortune.
Welcome back down to the bar, where we're going through Kev's 100 favourite films of all time in season 2 of Long Play Video. We have said, back at the bar, cocktails and shattered dreams. I don't think we've mentioned that recently, but yeah,
such a good name. It should be everywhere.
That was basically, that took us so long to come up with that name.
That was more effort was put into that than into my top 100 films.
At least with that, you had a double think. You thought about it twice rather than your 100 films, which you've literally blank piece of paper. Right, write down my 100 films. Go.
Yeah, we worked out there's definitely 2 sections. There's the from a young age to teenage where I could remember things. Then there's the dementia years, and then there's just recent films, and that's the only 2 slots available. So yeah.
I thought the two sections were going to be everything we've talked about so far, not very good. Everything we're going to talk about, bangers. But that unfortunately changes every week as we go film by film.
Not this week. Double banger.
Double banger. Yes, with that great description, obviously including twins, including 2 brothers. At number 68, we have Double Impact. I think there's actually there is a description that you could have done that just applied to every single Jean Claude Van Damme movie. I mean, if you just said Jean Claude Van Damme owns a karate dojo and is wronged by a racial stereotype and has to seek revenge, I think that would basically cover 90% of his films. So
that is true. It is fun, isn't it? How he became big. I feel like I remember there was way more one-liners in his films as well. But having watched 2 of them just now, there weren't that many one-liners at all. Disappointing.
The memory just goes.
Yeah, it does.
So 1991, Jean Claude Van Damme.
Yes,
15 million budget, grosses 30 million. Kind of
pretty
does
solid.
Put him on the map a little bit more. Kind of this is his first like mainstream. Or more mainstream film. Before this, I think they're mostly sort of martial art niche films. But I think this is very much, one of the ones that sort of makes him a bit more mainstream.
And I feel like you would go to see this film because he's in it. That's like the difference, isn't it? It gets to a point where you're like, you know who he is, and you see in a film because he's in it. Which changes everything. And obviously in this one, he's in it twice. So, I just we can't get enough of him.
So I'd never seen this film. I also had never seen Double Dragon, which I think is actually what the film that I thought this film was when I said that I'd played the computer game.
I was thinking, God, I didn't know there was a Double Impact computer. Yes, Double Dragon. Oh, one of the hardest games to ever complete.
Yeah, that was the one that I had on a handheld.
Wow.
So I did.
So they made
I did look at the. Well, I looked at the trailer and I was like, this doesn't look like Jean Claude Van Damme. And so then I was like, oh no, it's Double Impact.
He's changed a lot as he got older.
He looks like younger in this. But obviously kind of, knew that there was a film that he had been. Would you say for you, best twins played by one actor in a movie? For you, would you what else would you put in there?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it?
I mean, obviously, again, just showing that Sinners is not original, as you and Rob keep going on about. It's just all been done before. Sinners was basically just Double Impact, but based in America. Parent Trap. Parent Traps, Lindsay Lohan. That's a firm favourite in here. That's probably that would be top 3 for Poppy. In this household, that gets a lot of play time.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I don't know. I'm trying to think of some now. I feel like I've just watched one recently. and they was like, yeah, I can't remember what it was now. Maybe it was.
You
Maybe it was
seen
a
Legend?
movie.
The old Wally and Reggie Cray.
No, is he good in
Tom
that?
Hardy does both.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does
he
both,
is.
right?
Tom Hardy's. He is very good in that. He is very different.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
Adaptation would probably be the other one. You seen Adaptation? The
no,
super weird
that sounds like a
Charlie Kaufman one. It's Nicolas
no,
Cage,
right,
so
no.
you know.
Well, yeah.
But that is a very
Well, there you
weird
go.
movie.
Then it sounds like this is definitely the best. The best twin, single person playing a twin film.
I mean, yeah, Michael
it
B.
feels like there should be more, doesn't there? Now that we've
did
said
win
this,
the Oscar, so
yeah,
I'm not
there
sure
you go.
that Jean Claude was up for the Oscar in '91. But
No, sadly, underappreciated during his tenure. It actually, I mean, we might as well get into it a little bit quickly now. Consider it's 91. It's not bad for the twins. Like it's not bad at all. Like there's some bits where you're like, that definitely doesn't look like the back of his head. But
Yeah.
like the fact that they have a fight scene together, that's pretty clever. That's pretty good. I think that worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
for 91,
the thing
I
is,
was pretty impressed.
It kind of fits in with all of his fight scenes, though, because all of his fight scenes are he throws the kick, and then it's a zoom in of a foot hitting someone in the face, and then it's a zoom back out of the kick, like landing.
Yeah.
So because of that, because that's the style that he does, actually it's quite easy to then be both the kick and the kicky.
It doesn't, it felt pretty fluid though. I don't know how you felt, but I did quite like that scene. I thought that was quite clever. I put that together well. But yeah, it is. There are a lot of slow-mos in this film, like way more than I remember. Like everything's a bit of a slow-mo, and it's exaggerated. And then weirdly, not that much martial arts, which I was disappointed about. Yeah, I was like, this is an actual film as opposed to. I thought, because obviously that was, back in the day, that was exactly what he was known for, right? He was known for his incredible martial arts. Obviously, he always does the splits in every single movie he's in, at least once. So yeah, I feel like we were shortchanged a little bit. We didn't get as much martial arts and splits action as maybe we should have done. But,
I mean, I think we should, we should definitely talk about that, because I think it's, obviously, again, it's action films. We just keep realizing that the action films we remember don't actually have that much action. So
this is the problem, isn't it?
But anyway, let's save that. What's talk us through then? Your history with this film, why it's on the list. Is this? I presume this is sort of one that you watched over and over again back in the day.
Yeah. So, I mean, my dad always used to watch like action movies, like late at night. And so that was always a thing, wasn't it? You'd try to stay up a little bit later. And obviously back in those days when you had four channels, you didn't have the option to just sit there and moan and then put Bluey on. You had to just watch whatever was on. So that happened to be Clint Eastwood films. That happened to be martial arts films. God, I remember like lots of old, like Japanese films, samurai films. Like so many like different films we used to watch, and you just like watch them because you'd be like, great, I'm staying up a bit later. And then and obviously then you got the era where you had we didn't really watch much Sly films. I think that's maybe why he's not on my list as much. Watched plenty of Arnie films, and then obviously then you had JCVD and Seagal, and then they sort of came onto the scene, and we would have watched so many of his films. And then my sister absolutely loved them, and so she had like loads of his movies on VHS as well. So like everyone in the house was basically watching Jean Claude Van Damme. So there was no way to get away from him. So he was always there, ever present. And then I think, as you said, this one was the one that was like, it was a movie like built around him as opposed to him being in a movie type thing. So this was like the first one where it's like, this is a proper movie like for him. And I definitely would have seen this so many times back in the day. God, yeah. And then, I just think it's a good representation of of films in that sort of era. Like, you know, you had this, like I said, you had the Seagal ones, and then I guess you had like Jackie Chan coming up. So you had all those sort of people in that sort of, you know, that sort of martial arts piece. And I was thinking actually while I was watching this, I was like, wow, it's a shame if he'd have been born a bit later. Like, you think now, like how good he'd be in like the John Wick films. Like, he'd be amazing in those films. Like, he'd be incredible. And yet, obviously, not quite the same. Probably didn't have quite the same protection. God knows how many injuries he would have got doing all the stunts himself and stuff. So yeah, probably not quite the same. But yeah, just, you know, just one of those things. It's somehow he became big in our household, and consequently this got watched a lot. And I just think, yeah, this is a good representation of that sort of era. I think, you know, you have to have one of those sort of like that, especially like trying to get a martial arts film, even though there's not that much martial arts in this film. You have to, yeah, you definitely have to get a JCVD film in. Like, you think as well, I mean, obviously you had Arnie, who came in from, like, he broke America, and it was, I guess, rare for people to break America from outside, especially, you know, if English wasn't their first language. So, like, to have him break as well, like, it was pretty impressive. Like, the fact that, you know, he wasn't necessarily the best actor in the world, but probably better than Arnie. But yeah, just use these skills and, you know, kill bad guys.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think there's that thing, isn't there? That's difficult if for our younger listeners, like in the early 90s. That's the thing. Like, you had like martial arts films that were very much like B films and martial arts, but like there just wasn't. Like, you just didn't see martial arts as much like in mainstream films as obviously you do now, and you know, the likes of John Wick and The Matrix, I think is sort of a massive part of that, of like bringing it more mainstream. But that's the thing. Like, at the time, you just didn't. Martial arts weren't really that in that many mainstream movies, although. There was one movie that seems to have influenced this movie a lot as a mainstream, but we'll save that
Double
for
Dragon.
A bit later. Press X, XXY. And then, but like, that's as you say, like this, it's a little, he was always a little bit different, wasn't he? Because you've got Arnie, you've got Stallone, and you know, and then like him and Seagal are kind of, you know, because they've got the martial arts, whereas Arnie and Sly is more like boxing and being big and action and sort of guns, isn't it? Whereas, him and Seagal is more martial arts, roundhouse kicks, and all of that rather than anything else. So, and then you didn't see it that much, like, unless you were into like the kind of Hong Kong movies that were more difficult to get hold of, as we kind of talked about with Bruce Lee and on The Crow.
And I mean, I remember like my dad used to watch all those as well, so we used to watch all of those sort of things. But it wasn't like mainstream. You didn't have those at all. And then you think about it, like think about that, comparing him to Seagal. Seagal actually is very similar to, I guess, Sly and Arnie as well, in that you're right, he'd use more kicks rather than, obviously, they'd use more punches, but none of them really get hit. They're all like, you know, they always seem to sort of sail through fairly unscathed. Whereas, you know, so we watched,
I think Rocky takes a couple of punches, to be fair.
Oh, true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I didn't see him in the Rocky films. Yeah, he probably does take a bit there. But after watching this, I watched Time Cop, and like within like 4 minutes in Time Cop, he's taken a beating, and I was like, he takes a beating in this film as well. Like I was like, is this the prelude to like Die Hard, or was this after Die Hard, where, like, you know, it's the everyman who gets beaten up? I mean, I think as well, like, not only breaking into mainstream, but being like, you know, at the time would definitely be classified as a foreigner to the US. Coming in, like, I think that was like, you know, and then obviously got his catchphrase, "The muscles from Brussels." You know, I mean, that it was like unheard of at the time to have someone like that come over and break Hollywood. So it was very impressive, and he had some great like fun movies, right? And then obviously he was in Street Fighter, things like that. I think you said the other day, right, Universal Soldier. So he did get in some good films as well. Like, he wasn't just all terribleness, but
Yeah.
So what about you?
I would say a little story on that from the folks of the podcast Double Impact. Bit of a shout out to them.
Nice.
Not going through Double Impact minute by minute like the people who were doing Clue. But actually, funnily enough, so Double Impact is a podcast I found was looking for podcasts for this film. They go through films from the 90s that had impact on them, and then every 10 they go through Jean Claude Van Damme's movies in chronological order. So
amazing.
Pretty much the perfect podcast for you. I think you should definitely check that out. But apparently, Jean Claude Van Damme, when he was in Brussels and he sort of owned a dojo, he then wrote hundreds of letters out to everyone in the US, like film producers, film actors, and everything like that, to try and sort of get a break. And the only person to write him back was Kirk Douglas, sort of saying keep going, keep trying, keep your head up.
There you go.
And then, funnily enough, one of his films is actually produced by Michael Douglas, like his production company when he was doing production. So
there you go.
Just goes to show, sending hundreds of letters out to random people. Yeah. You could be Jean Claude Van Damme.
There you go. It's funny actually. That reminds me of a story someone was telling me today, this week at work. She took some photos of David Attenborough and wanted to see if he would like sign them and send them back for a birthday, and sent them off to him with a prepaid post. And he sent back a modern photo of him in Australia signed. It's unbelievable. Wow. I was like, wow, nice. Look at that. What a lovely guy.
Tangent all the way around, but the common conspiracy theory on David Attenborough is that he's actually God, and he's here to show us how excellent the planet is, and then he'll leave.
We've not really taken that on board, have we? We've kind of gone, love your shows, but I prefer to still eat everything in plastic and drive around in my car by myself.
Well, I mean, last time God was here, didn't pan out that well either. But I don't know.
Is that the Monty Python version? Is that the
It's actually Brian. So, what have you poured for yourself today? Or let's just have a word from our sponsors before you tell me. Obviously, Double Impact is a film where Jean Claude Van Damme plays twins, separated at birth, one raised in Paris, one in Hong Kong. We'll talk about the accents later. And it takes them 25 years and several roundhouse kicks to reunite. Your photos from last Saturday night, it's the same tragedy. Half of them are on your phone, half are on Adam's phone. And there's one crucial video that's trapped on Dave's cracked Samsung. And Out fixes that. It makes the reunion that much sweeter without the kickboxing. More, should we say, the kickboxing being optional. You just create an out for any event, and everyone's photos and videos and songs land in one place, accessible to everyone across iOS and Android. Afterwards, it becomes a memory, and you can keep it forever by paying £1.99, or you can just download them for the first 30 days for free. And it's just a way to bring all of your photos and videos from a night out or from any event together. It's a free app. And they are providing sponsorship for our virtual drinks again.
Yes, very good. Everyone should download it immediately. Get on it. Supported by JCVD himself. Can
we say that? I'm sure.
I'm sure he needed help in his day and age. In his day of help, I think it's the same for us.
He hasn't sent me the signed photo back, but
Yes, he's just going to come and visit you. He's not going to worry about sending you a photo. He'll be like, "Come, let me stay for a couple of nights." So I've gone for something. I was trying to think of the twin sort of connection. So I found a cocktail called the Twin Six, which is a pre-prohibition cocktail.
Nice.
It sounds horrific, so I'm not going to be drinking many of them. It's gin, vermouth, orange juice, grenadine, and one fresh egg white. I mean, if I was going to put together a drink that I would like less, I think I'd struggle. I mean, not a fan of gin, and then not sure how egg whites go with gin. I don't know about that.
Or with orange. Surely that's...
It's going to be fun. We should make it one day. But so we see how we go. You know, if I'm sort of squinting or like, you know, like my face looks contorted, it could be the roundhouse kicks that JCVD continually takes to the balls, or it might just be my drink. Who knows? So, yeah.
Well, funnily enough, there's obviously there's a connection with egg whites and twins, clearly, because I had the smooth twin cocktail. So that's Hennessy, almond syrup, lemon juice, and half an egg white. I don't know how do you get half an egg white. Yeah. How do you get half an egg white? How do you divide an egg white in half? I'm not sure. I've never tried to do that, and I'm not sure how you would.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that, but that does. Hennessy sounds like that would work out well with an egg white or half.
Yeah. It says dry
I might
shake
swap the
without
drinks
ice.
at one point.
Then shake with ice. Interesting.
Oh, very precise, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
half the egg white.
If JCVD is going to do 2 roles in one film, the least we can do is make the effort with our cocktails. So we're both on the egg whites, separating the eggs and the yolks. Let's go.
Surely you just make twice as much and use the whole egg but egg white, but that might just be me.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely just have two drinks. Yeah, don't worry about it. I was just looking at his back catalogue. My God, and like you forget about it as well. Like late 80s and 90s. Like nowadays, people would maybe make one film 1 year. Maybe if you're lucky, then another year it comes out. The next film comes out. Then it'll be like 4 years. The next film. Then like another 2 years. JCVD, it's like 1988, 2 films, 99, 2 films, 1990, 2 films, 91, took a break, just 1 film, 92, 2 films, 93, 3 films, and you're just like bonkers, isn't it? It's crazy. It's just a different world. You just had to didn't get paid as much. Just plow them out.
He does 13 films in 6 years.
Wow. His body must have been, in pain. All of these great films, I remember Cyborg, Kickboxer, AWOL, Death Warrant. So many. All of these you've probably not seen, Andy, yet. So,
these part of the bangers that are coming up on the bottom.
Yeah. So, what was he in your household then? Did you see many of his films? I guess you were obviously aware of him, but were you aware of him but didn't really see the films? What was the go?
Yeah, no, I think didn't really have a lot to do with him. I think I remember going back and watching Hard Target. So maybe at university, and going back almost to some of the original kind of martial arts movies from the early 90s. Late 80s. So watched Hard Target, which I think is a John Woo one. Watched Kickboxer and Cyborg as well. But I don't know. I'm the funny thing about him and all of his films are like the kick. The kick is obviously very impressive, and the fact that he can do the kick is impressive. Yeah. There's very rare that he's actually in a fight. It's like he does a kick
in this film.
It either it lands or it doesn't, and then it's like they're standing there for another couple of minutes. It's not like sort of a Jackie Chan where it's like combinations of 4 or 5 punches and kicks and movement and something else. With Jean Claude, it's never a fight. It's just like one kick, and that either does it or not. Like even this, where obviously he's fighting Donkey Kong at the end. I mean, he's trying to barrel him to death for some reason. It's like he kicks him. Oh no, he's dodged the kick and he gets punched, and then he staggers backwards, and then he does kick and he lands the kick, and the other guy staggers backwards. But it's not like there's no choreography that's more than one kick or more than one punch, and so. Yeah, it just always.
I think
seems
that's
a
the
bit
thing,
odd
isn't it? I feel like that's the era, isn't it? I think for me, that's what I'm saying. I think if he had been in there now, obviously he had the ability. I think if he was in films now, like in John Wick, it would be totally different. He would have it'd be so choreographed. He'd be doing so many different maneuvers. And it's a kind of a shame that you kind of think, actually he probably missed out on a bit on that, because he was probably just a little bit too early. Like if it had just broken maybe a bit later, if he'd come through a little bit later, maybe he'd have just started, because you think about Jackie Chan as well, like when he was coming through, it was probably a bit later. I do think like if it had been now, like he was, even looking at him, like obviously he's pretty well built and stuff, but he's not like Arnie or Sly. He's still like he's more lean than he is huge. So he's quite agile and quite, flexible, obviously, as we see with the splits on occasion, which is on offer many times. It must be in his contract that he has to do the splits, like Brad Pitt eats. Yeah.
Because he has big legs, so then he can do the splits. I'm like, surely big legs is actually not good.
That would,
the splits,
you would feel that wouldn't be help. Yeah, he does a great one in Time Cop as well, where it's actually on the kitchen surface, so he jumps up and does the splits there. Nice. So there you go. That definitely gets a lot. It made me think of, like, I was like, did he do this too much? It's a bit like the what's that Netflix TV show? Is it the Dallas Cheerleaders, where they all have to like do a splits in unison, and you just think, oh god, this must just ruin their hips. Like surely, when they're older, they're all going to be like. Maybe that's the same for him. So yeah, like I think he was. Interestingly, I've not seen. They did like a semi-documentary, or like was it a mockumentary, like JCVD? Have you seen? I guess you probably haven't seen that. I haven't seen that.
He plays himself as like he's an actor, which is undercover because he's really a secret agent and stuff. It was supposed. It was. I didn't watch it, but it was supposed to be really good. Like and then it did get a lot of. I mean, he's the choreographer for Double Impact, and I don't know. I'm not sure. I have the same sense. I'm like, he's got a trick, and he pulls that trick out. But even like, it's very noticeable in the fights. If he doesn't land his kick, then basically he gets punched. There's no guard there, is there? There's no like a follow up like feint kick, but then do the other kick. It's like he's got his kick. And that's great. It's a good weapon. But if he misses that, then someone then can just punch him in the stomach because he's missed his kick. And you're like,
he's just okay. Well, he's done a massive roundhouse. I wonder if it had been like. Can you imagine? I'm just thinking now, like JCVD and Swayze. Can you imagine them two? Like that could have been an interesting little combo. Yeah,
I think like Swayze's almost, because he's more dancer. I'd take Swayze over Jean Claude, as you said.
I mean, it'd be a good one. Maybe that would be like the follow up to Tango and Cash. Like that would be those two. Like, can you imagine Swayze? When AI can do it, I'm going to put Swayze in JCVD.
He does grab someone by the throat, but he doesn't rip the throat out. So I was a bit disappointed by that. So.
Yeah, you were like, I know what's going to happen here. Oh, it didn't happen.
Classic Roadhouse. Oh, he hasn't. What a wimp.
No, didn't do it. Yeah, I'm trying to think with Seagal. Did Seagal used to do lots of kicks as well? Like, I feel like he used to do like lots of like little punches and stuff. He did like close works things. Like it was funny watching.
Seagal is more a fight.
Yeah, he does more like little moves, doesn't he? Like I remember. I was watching a Time Cop yesterday, and there's a knife scene, and it's quite funny. Van Damme just basically holds his knife straight, and the other guy just like basically he's just trying to tap the knife, and you're like, when you watch it, you're like, he's not moving the knife. Like why surely you would just like go, well, I'll move around in a different way because he's not moving his knife. So that was a bit funny. I was like, clearly he didn't have much I don't know if it's like choreography or he didn't have the skills, but it was quite funny watching that.
Yeah,
but
and that's so that's the thing, and so we've got involved with it straight off the bat. But like for me, if you think this is 91, Lethal Weapon is like 87 and 89. I think the first two Lethal Weapons come off, and I would say that. Like, first of all, the bit on the container ship is pretty much just a rip-off of Lethal Weapon, in my opinion, where they're torturing the guy and then they drop the container on someone's head. But, like, you think that the sort of the end fight at the end of Lethal Weapon, between Mel Gibson and Gary Busey, like that I think is a 100 times better than any fight in this film. Like it just because it's actually a fight, and they're kicking, and they're doing like multiple like kicks at the same time, or multiple moves. And with as I say, with Jean Claude, it was always just like, well, it's one kick, and it's very good because it's a very high kick, but like it's not like then another kick, or then he doesn't sweep the leg or anything else. So.
Sweep the leg. Yeah, I guess like Mel Gibson and like those two are probably well matched. I think that was one of the things with this film. I thought that if you're going to have like two old white guys that are going to be the main villains, they're not going to be having like a fist fight. That's not going to be happening. They're going to need 1,000 goons in front of them to like attack Jean Claude Van Damme. You can't be having them having a one-on-one fight, because obviously it's stupid, right? And like to your point, like it's really exaggerated where you have to sort of do an exaggerated swing, and then somehow he gets him with a fire extinguisher, because obviously realistically he could finish him off in a second. And so they're trying sort of so I think that was one of the things actually I'd say about I'd change is, if you're going to keep those two old people as like the head honchos, you need like proper like really hard like goons in front of them that they have to get through like 50 of them.
The crazy 88. I mean they do, because obviously they have like the main goon who beats him up and puts him in the container, and then like halfway through the movie the main lady goon like comes out of nowhere. You're just like, wait, what was she in the first half of the movie? Like, where's and she just comes in and sexually assaults another lady, and then you're like, and
okay. A man. She's sexually assaulting everyone. She was like, God, she was ripped, wasn't she? She was like very she was very good, I thought, actually. She played that character well. Like she was like, she did seem creepy and menacing. I did fear for everyone in scenes with her. So she was good. But I think they do miss that trick. And I'll have to watch some more of his films and see, like you said, is it just the nostalgia reminds you, thinks that there was loads of actual fights, or is the reality is that there aren't actually many fights at all? I have to see, but
and
definitely in this one not as much.
And then the use of slow-mo, like it's it's fair enough. Some slow-mo where they're like, where he's kicking someone, you're like, I get that. Or, but then they use it when he's breaking a glass with his hand. They use it when he's just getting up off the floor. He when steps over a dead body and there's a slow-mo. You're like, there was so many. You can adjust that. You don't, it doesn't have to be all slow-mo. You can actually, it was almost like, well, we shot this in slow-mo. Sorry. There's nothing we could do about it.
They needed to extend it to an hour and a half. And they're like, well, how can we do that? We've not got enough. We've not got enough in the edit. What about if we added some slow-mos? There were way too many slow-mos in the movie. I think there's a point where he sort of kind of gets to the floor, and then it cuts to another scene, and then he's rolling on the floor in slow-mo shooting the gun. And I was like, that where he just finished isn't where he is now. That's not the same scene. Something's happened to him.
And why is that going to stop you getting shot? You're doing it. You're not moving that far. Like if someone's got a machine gun, they're definitely going to be able to. Oh, he's rolled out of the way of where I've shot. What am I going to do? Oh, I've got a machine gun. All I'll do is spray the entire floor.
Yeah, it is fun, isn't it? Like the things that used to happen in the 80s, and then and then also obviously he's perfect at shooting as well, as we've always, as we know with all of those movies, never misses anyone. I'm going backwards, actually, just coming back to the start, like with the parents and like they're setting the scene of them both getting kidnapped. That scene is brutal. Like
it is.
They're in the car, they're just shooting it up. The dad dies, and then the mum gets shot in the face with a shotgun. I was like, what? What's
going to happen to my babies? You'll never know. You're like, oh, damn.
What a line. I know as well. Like, cold. So brutal. Not even like we're going to kill them or something. It's like, just, you'll never know. Like, oh, awesome. Yeah, that was intense. But yeah, it was good because they set, obviously, like as we said in the 80s, 90s, they set the scene pretty quickly. And then
yeah, they do.
You don't really
the music
out...
the music is so funny for that. Where you just right from the start, like over the opening credits, like you're like, okay, this is an action movie, and then the car starts driving, and then instantly you've got like, okay, these are baddies because you can tell the music's something bad is going to happen.
And then it's like, I told you don't have to follow me home. I'm not following you home. It's like, oh my God, I'm coming.
I did think, why did we, when we went to Hong Kong, why did we not do the street tour of Double Impact? That must be available. I did. I maybe recognize a couple of the streets.
God,
we could have reenacted.
We could have
Double
both
Impact.
dressed up. I'd have to be Alex. You'd have to be Chad.
I mean, I do have the pants that he wears under his nipples. So.
Yeah, I thought they did do quite a good job in, obviously in 90s acting. Like he did a pretty good job of trying to act as two different characters of like a hard man and like a I don't know, like a weak LA man or whatever it is.
I completely disagree with that sentiment.
You did like it.
I am on my own because a lot of people say like, oh, he did really well. And I don't want to spoil any 3-star reviews, but like everyone was like, oh, he did really well. I was like, no, he gets confused because Alex is like this hard guy, but then all of a sudden he's really soft with his girlfriend, but then he's like angry. It's all over the shop. And then Chad's really angry at one stage and he's just exactly the same. I just I don't think
I mean, they are twins. They've got some similarities. But, it was quite funny when Alex is on the boat and he's talking to his girlfriend and he's like sort of finishes, he's like, I love you, and then just hangs up. And you're just like, oh, it's brilliant. It was like, what's he going to say? What's he going to say?
Obviously, what we're supposed to think is that Alex seeing the sex scene in his head because he's he's twins with Chad, and Chad is imagining that is happening. So then that's why Alex thinks that it's happening because they have like the twin connection. So obviously,
so he thinks that Chad's thinking it in his head, and that's why he sees it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the alcohol. I think he's had too many
levels.
twin sixes. That's the problem.
Dude, why do we get to see him blow the snot out of his nose when he's drinking? Like you're talking about shooting his mum in the face, one thing, but he does like a snot rocket like while he's drinking. I'm like, dude, we don't need to see that. Why is that? Why is that adding to?
There's a weird one as well in Time Cop. There's a point where it actually zooms in on him French kissing the woman he's with, and like it's like right close up of both of his tongue going into her mouth, and you're just like, don't need to see that zoomed in. Like that could have been a little bit further back.
we get it. They're kissing.
You're into each other. It's good, but I don't need to be next to your face when I see it. Yeah.
I did also. I thought, why is the bad guy using all of his dad's shit? Like,
I know.
Like,
why is he using
that lighter,
that
box? You're just like,
so unnecessary.
Wow, did he murder his dad just to get his cigar paraphernalia? Like, what's going on here?
And then he was so annoyed that there were no cigars in it. It's like, oh my God, it's an empty box. I mean, you're right. He's got so much money. He would never be using that box still, or it'd be like on his shelf as a memento of like when he killed everyone. It wouldn't be in his car being used. So
that
random.
means that he went up to the car with all the dead bodies, looked through it, and was like, "Oh, does anyone mind if I take this?" No,
this
you're
good.
the boss. Oh, okay, good. Thanks.
It's like, oh, well, we didn't get the babies. I'm going to get something.
Ooh, lighter. I thought that was quite funny. And and at the very start, I don't know if you saw, but like when Alex headbutts Chad, Jean Claude definitely headbutted something because he has the biggest bruise. He just has a lump on his head. He definitely, and you're like, but the effects is that he's headbutting the camera. And so I was like, did he actually headbutt the camera? But for like the next 3 scenes, he has a massive bruise on his head, like a real lump on his head. I was like, oh, do you think that's interesting?
Someone kicked him, and so they had to write this into the scene, into the movie, because they're like, he's got a massive bump now on his head. How are we gonna cover this up?
Yeah.
Modern times.
Maybe he just did it wrong. I think he headbutts one of the goons when he's rescuing the girl as well.
Yeah, he does do a bit of headbutting, doesn't he? He's not shy of a headbutt. Yeah,
that Alex.
yeah. I mean, great. I mean, I remember like when this came out as well, and it was like, oh wow, like two like the same people, like twin, two martial artists. Yeah, and then obviously in the trailer as well, you'd see like, oh, one of them's like, you know, from the US, a bit softer. The other one's like hardened from Hong Kong. It was a genius idea. You're like, this is so good. Obviously watching it now, not you know as good. Still nostalgically works, but
It's great with the like 80s again of the plot getting going, because obviously then. Like he kicks the guy in the karate thing, which again wouldn't happen now, would he? He just kicks him in the face, and you're like, nowadays it would be like, no, you know, violence is wrong, and he would have dodged all the kicks and shown that he could kick him, but he's not going to. But no, he's just like, let me show you. I'm gonna knock you out. And then he goes up to the office. And the guy's like, I'm not your uncle. Your parents died. You have a brother. We're going to Hong Kong. He just like lays out the whole plot to him. And even with the throwaway line of, well, you weren't born in France. And you're like, okay, so you're explaining Chad's accent with a one-liner. With Alex, just don't care. Just never comes up that he also speaks French. Like, all you had to do is like drop in one line there. So, but no, they just don't bother. So, great 80s, just like, okay, you don't have to worry about it. We're going to explain it. This is the plot. Let's go.
And that is, and even so, it's still like, what is it? How long is the runtime? It's still like a good like an hour and a half, right? Something like that. 110 minutes. Yeah, God, it's nearly 2 hours, and that's with it like the explanation in 5 minutes. So still, there's a lot of slow mos to get in that time. I feel it could be it could have been a bit shorter. I feel like I don't think you needed. I don't think that, you know, and woe betide me to not want the romance in a film, but like I don't think you needed the whole subplot of Alex thinking that he was going to steal his fiancée, who he also like hits in the face, punches in the face. That scene is a little bit weird, but that is unfortunately a hallmark of like the 80s, 90s, isn't it? There has to be some kind of really weird sex scene in it.
I think that really slows the whole thing down. Like
it does.
Her
it's
searching
not needed,
through the files like twice. You don't need that.
You definitely don't need her twice. Because you could just get her doing it once, and you introduce the other female villain. Like that's it. That's great. The female henchwoman. That's brilliant. You don't need her doing it twice. And you could do it at the start where you know she thinks Chad is Alex, and it's funny because no, it's not. And then that's great. But you didn't need like a whole imaginary sex scene while he's drunk on absinthe. Like that that wasn't really needed.
We all know absinthe does that to you. We've had it many times at the bar going through this list.
Too many times. But I think you could probably. Is that what you think you'd remove then? You'd remove her character, you think?
No, I mean,
or you just remove that scene.
I mean, you need the person to go and get rescued. Does it? Yeah, I guess it needs. I guess Alex needs motivation to do it. Yeah, but Frank doesn't really mean anything to Alex, so I kind of get that. But like, there's a lot of, the love triangle, which I just don't think that you need. Like, she could just be his girlfriend that he punches in the face because it's the 80s. And and then she gets kidnapped and he goes after her. I don't think you really need as much of the
because I didn't feel really like that Chad, like there's any point when you think, oh yeah, Chad's interested in her or Chad's trying to make a play for her. That Chad's almost like completely oblivious to everything. He's just like, oh wow, we're in Hong Kong, that's great. So it's kind of like I think you're right, you don't really need that. But oh, well, I mean, do we dare? I mean, there's so much to talk about in this film. We could keep going all day. But do we dare move to the scores?
I think.
Do they get doubled? Is that Is that the answer?
Or halved? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right then.
So
go on. First watch, and this was your first watch. So here we go.
This was my first watch.
Mm.
Yeah. So I went with 50 for first watch.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I think that's solid.
This is not. Yeah. This is a bad movie, but like it's fine. I get it. It's you know. It is what it is. And again, like we always sort of caveat a little bit. Back in the 90s, you wouldn't have seen as much of this, although I think, you know, Lethal Weapon, the fact that Lethal Weapon came out before this, I was like, this is actually quite late to the game in some ways. But I thought 50. Rewatch, I dropped down to 28.
Okay.
They drop the F-bomb quite a lot. It doesn't. I don't think it kind of holds up that much. I don't think the characters are good. There are a couple of the scenes. And just the language is very like early 80s. Obviously, what they're trying to do is like imply that Chad is gay, or that like there's like various slurs on him for that, and then you're just a bit like just because he's got silk underwear and stuff, and you're like that's not the best.
It's fun, isn't it? Because like it's weird that the language they use, that they're trying to sort of like make you go like, oh, like he's just like this like, you know, guy from LA. He's not really had a hard life. He doesn't really know what it is. But the way that they choose to do that is like, that's not good. That's not the way. You could have gone it a better way. But yeah.
Well, as Jean Claude said himself, Alex is violent and Chad is not. So audience will really see the contrast in my work. And I was like,
there you go.
Yeah,
only
maybe.
You're the only one that doesn't see it.
Still kill a lot of people.
Yeah.
He seems okay with it. Like
Alex is like brutal, just like ripping people's heads off, and like it's quite funny when you watch these films as well. And like when someone's neck breaks, they then react afterwards as they die, and you're like, well, no, your neck's broken, you're dead. But then they actually go, and you're like, no, you're already dead. You can't.
That's not when you do the reaction.
Romance then. Bromance.
I mean, I put 58. Is this film just a love triangle? And that's actually, this is basically a romantic action movie, isn't it?
Honestly, I think I could pick any film and you would find some romance in it somehow. I don't know how.
Talk us through how formative the sex scene was for you as a like 11, 12-year-old. Is that? I thought that felt longer than a lot of the action movies. A lot of the action scenes to be fair. So.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? It was a bit of a funny one. They have in Time Cop as well. They have an obligatory sex scene as well, which is also equally bizarre and probably unneeded. And it's just a trope of the 80s and 90s, I guess, isn't it? It's a bit weird.
Yeah,
but well, action then. Let's see. Is it going to be more than romance?
Yeah, so I went with 62.
Oh, not much.
No, well, that's the thing.
Romance guy, honestly.
Well, because I thought, like, looking at the other films, and something, funnily enough, so that's one more than Running Man. But again, it was quite sort of Running Man, Escape from New York-esque, where you're like, actually,
sort of
as a percentage of the film, the action sequences are actually quite small. Like, I didn't think I could give it more on an action score than Kingsman, because Kingsman, there's like a lot of action.
But what did you give Kingsman?
Action, right? 62.
Yeah, I mean this is the problem.
That maybe seems low.
That is definitely low. I mean, he kills about 12 people, maybe more, 15 people in one scene. It's so crazy.
Yeah, that does seem low in hindsight. So.
What about soundtrack then? No real bangers, but classic 80s.
Soundtrack. I gave it 49 because I think it does a lot of the heavy lifting. But like I didn't think it was particularly good.
No, there wasn't really anything memorable. Yeah. Any lines to represent the pod? I mean,
I had a couple.
JCVD.
Want some real action, tough guys? Let's do it. I thought that could be our rallying cry at the start of the
that'd be our tagline. Yeah,
the pod. And then also, okay, gentlemen, let's stop flogging the log here. I don't know what flogging the log means, but just sometimes when we're going through both of our lists, I just think that might actually apply. So
yeah, it feels like it feels correct. We don't know why, but it feels correct. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we said last week, what a great, amazing mashup to have Iron Man 3 with X, whatever it's called, Machina to those.
I wondered what you were going to say.
Yeah. And this week, it goes from very close to polar opposites. So I'm keen to see what you come up with this week.
So AI again has just put both of the films together in a very heavy-handed way. But the title of the movie, Twice the Service. Doug Ireland has spent 6 years at the Bradbury Hotel's legendary concierge, charming guests and hustling favours to fund his dream of opening his own luxury hotel. Until the twin brother he never knew existed walks through the revolving doors.
Amazing.
Separated as infants after their parents were murdered by the crime syndicate that seized the family's Hong Kong hotel empire, Doug's brother Alex is a hard-drinking smuggler who's traced the killers to New York, where syndicate boss Nigel Griffiths is laundering money through, naturally, the Bradbury. You don't hear the name Nigel these days. No. To take him down, the brothers must swap identities, Alex bluffing his way through celebrity check-ins and impossible dinner reservations, while Doug applies his fixer's talent for anticipating everyone's needs to infiltrating the underworld. Complicating matters is Andy, the ambitious guest relations manager Doug secretly loves, who can't understand why the smoothest man in Manhattan suddenly alternates between kissing her hand and kickboxing valets. It all converges at the hotel's grand reopening gala, where twin roundhouse kicks, a weaponized luggage cart, and impeccable service settle the family business for good.
There you go. That sounds good.
It's so funny.
And I love the fact that for some reason they switch, but it doesn't explain why. And that's classic 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Like, why did they switch? Like, why does one have to learn martial arts and the other have to learn service? Who knows?
I love the way that AI just does like one sentence from one film and then the next sentence is from the other film. And that's what they think is combining.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, that's good.
So, I mean, obviously, the concierge, Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox that you'd never seen before, I think, when we did it before.
Yes, I think I'd either just seen a bit of it or, definitely hadn't seen all of it. So it wasn't definitely not the top of my list of Michael J. Fox films. So, for me, first watch, so this was number 70 for me on your list. So first watch, I put 64. So it wasn't too bad. Like it wasn't great, but it wasn't awful. Rewatch, I brought that down to 49. Maybe could be even lower. Don't think I'd rewatch this again, and I don't think I'd enjoy rewatching it. Romance. See, now this is the difference between me and you. I'm looking at these scores in my face as we speak. I'm looking at your scores of an action film of romance and action, and my scores on a romance film of romance and action. So I've given this 50 for romance and 65 for action, which I've given it more action than you've given. You've given Double Impact, and you've given Double Impact more romance than I've given The Concierge.
I feel
There's something fundamentally wrong with our brains. So,
I feel like you should swap those two scores around.
I think we should. Well, I think you should swap your. I think I should give JCVD's romance 50, and we'll give The Concierge 58, and then action should have 65 instead of 62.
I think we can do that.
It's just there in black and white, isn't it?
How have you thought that The Concierge is more of an action movie than a romance movie? What action is there in The Concierge?
Yeah. Oh, well, there's lots of running around and stuff, isn't there? And he's on the island, he's in the helicopter, like there's stuff happening.
He's in the limo.
In the same way, I'm like, how is there 4 points of romance less than there are of action in Double Impact? It's us at our core. We can't help it. We shouldn't be. You should only judge action, and I should only judge romance. And then
maybe that's what we're. That's what we need to do with the second half of the list.
Yeah.
Is that I judge both films rewatchability and romance. You judge both films first watch and action. There we go.
Maybe that's it.
We might be shaking things up live on the pod.
We do need to do that. Yeah. Well, there you go. And then soundtrack didn't really remember it being offensive or particularly amazing, so I put 43. But
I don't remember any of the soundtracks.
No, exactly.
That's the standard Huey Lewis in the News.
Well, exactly. Like unless I watched it yesterday, there's no chance. But I did have a good line for it. I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounds like a lot of fun. It's like that's like me just about to tell you every week we're about to get another banger, and you're like, oh yeah.
Next week's gonna be a banger.
Oh, no. It's not a banger.
Nice. Okay. Well, some very confusing scores overall there. Do you want to roll?
To me, Rob. Well, as we thought last week that mine was definitely fixed because it keeps coming up with best line. Let's see.
It is weighted.
Rewatch.
Oh, concierge.
There you go. It's another win
for me. It's a shame the romance didn't come up. I was
that would have been
really
great
going for romance. That extends your lead. 14-18. You're 18-14 up.
There you go. So, but it's all right. As I've told you, there's some bangers coming up. So
exactly. Yeah, I'm sure that I'll get it back. What did you think Chad and Alex would be doing today?
Well, yes, I think obviously Chad's going to be a fitness influencer. I mean, that goes without saying.
100%.
That's nailed on. Alex becomes an owner of a string of dive bars. One in particular has a cage to stop the punters getting close to the band, which happens to include a blind keyboard player. So I could see Alex's character working well in Roadhouse, actually. I feel like that could be good. Frank, he couldn't help himself. He keeps going out on missions. Sadly, he's no longer with us. He was too old and he kept going. And Danielle just runs her own global international security firm. She's learned the lessons now. She's like, and no one's getting anywhere close to me or my clients. So yeah,
with a strict non-frisking policy.
Yeah, I mean the frisk as well was it was brutal, wasn't it?
Yeah, just sort of played off like for not for laughs, but like so casual, and you're like, wait, that was weird.
Yeah, it was it was weird.
Yeah, definitely. Chad owns multiple YouTube channels. Alex is still a gritty, plays for keeps, outside the law, cigar munching guy. He's from the streets. You don't change. He's just tough true. Like that. Although sometimes he's not tough because he forgets which brother he is. But no, mostly he's just tough, especially when he's got the cigar. I feel like the cigar in his mouth meant that he remembered which one he was playing. Yeah. And the rest of the time, it was not so much. Yeah. Yeah. So just the one thing to change. What would you pick, or do you think this is like just perfect in execution?
No, I think as earlier. I think if you're going to have those two like old guys to be the main villains, you need bigger final scene, because like the showdown at the end is a bit of an anticlimax, because you're like, oh, how are they actually going to make this even? And I think that's the problem. It isn't even, and then they fail to make it in a fun scene. So much bigger showdown with lots more guys.
The arm in the machinery,
that was brutal.
I think is actually I think that's probably the best bit of action in it, because that happened so quickly and so well that you're like, oh, cool, wow, that came out of nowhere. Like, I thought that was really good. It
was nice when the container is just very slowly, like Austin Powers pushing him slowly into the water, which is just water, and then Chad, as he's diving into the water, he's like, whoa! It's like, why are you screaming as you dive into water? So random.
Funnily enough, Alex always does that. Just before he charges out at someone, he's like, and you're like, no, dude, don't. That tells him that you're coming.
Funny. Must have been one of those tropes, wasn't it? But
yeah.
What about you then? What would you switch?
I just want to add one line of dialogue for Alex when he meets Chad, and he says, "You have no idea. Those French nuns were sure rough on us," just to try and help. Just help with the accent a little bit. A little bit of explanation. It's fine. We don't believe it, but let's at least have something referencing it, because you do for Chad. So why not for Alex?
yeah. That's true.
They sound exactly the same, even though one grew up in Hong Kong.
Yeah, but he went to a French school in Hong Kong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's all you need. Like, the French nuns were tough on me.
Yeah,
that would be fine.
All right then.
Best thing about the movie?
I think I like the scene of them fighting each other. I think in 1991 that was a pretty impressive. It was a pretty impressive idea. I know, like you said, it's a cut scene, but they move it together pretty well, and it's pretty good for the 90s. So I was pretty impressed with that. I thought that was pretty good. What about you?
Yeah. I just had the kicks. Like, the kicks are impressive.
Are so good.
Like, they're
ridiculously good.
There's only kicks, and there's only one kick, and then nothing happens. But the kicks themselves are impressive. So we've got to.
He's very good.
Yeah.
Well, 3-star reviews.
Some cracking 3-star reviews. Some of the people were involved with this movie, apart from one person who said, for some reason, I had to have this movie and watch it. And
okay,
never explains it.
Good to know.
Never explains it.
Just leave it there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Someone said twins aren't always alike. This movie proves it. It's how and where they're raised.
Oh my God.
I'm not sure scientifically.
Nature nurture isn't sold by Double Impact.
Double Impact. Finally, we know the answer to the nature nurture debate.
Who knew? Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So someone, God love him, said, this film alone proves that the man can act. Despite what many people think, to be honest, I was quite shocked as to how it felt like two different people playing these parts. Yeah. Come on.
There you go, Andy.
It didn't
felt like he should have been up for 2 Oscars.
No, they're not the same person, are they? I don't think anyone came out of the cinema being like, no, they were the same person.
Wow, he's so good. Yeah.
And then someone said it has an impressive storyline about 2 twin brothers separated at birth who link up with their elder to take revenge on the gang that killed their parents. You're like, what? I mean, an impressive storyline I don't think usually can be summed up in one sentence, which you have just done with the second half of that sentence. So
I think, but that is the kind of film you want from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
That sums it up in a nutshell. It's perfect.
Can you... Yeah, the ultimate elevator pitch. You can just basically describe the whole thing. And then someone else I'm glad to see was with me where they said, man, in full caps with an exclamation mark. When I first heard about this movie, I thought that finally the video game Double Dragon will come to a live action movie. But no, the story, title and characters are very similar to the video game, but not exactly the same. That person
they're very different to the video game.
That person was a little bit confused as well. Well, here we are, the moment of truth. We've obviously come off the back of losing another one, but where's it going? So number 68 at the moment. Where's it headed?
It is 68 presently. Yes, I think for me, like I said, you need some kind of Van Damme or Jackie Chan or Steven Seagal movie. I feel like there was, like I said, you watched lots and lots of martial arts films when I was younger.
Yeah.
So there had to be one of them. And what more than one when there's 2 people in the same film? Why not? So it moves down the list, but definitely stays on the list. I'll put it at 93. So just below Haunted Honeymoon, because I love that film. I would much rather watch that. But above Jurassic Park, I would rather watch this again than Jurassic Park. So
I mean, that's
controversial.
That's the glory of films. So, you have your own opinion of what you want to watch. And we've just blown getting Steven Spielberg ever on the pod. He was everywhere for Disclosure Day. I was hoping he'd come on, but it's going to be a tough ask now.
Yeah. What about you then? Does it fit firmly in the bad section?
Yeah, firmly in the bad section. Funnily enough, I put it in at 94. So pretty pretty similar to you.
Yeah.
I put it just below Major League, but still above Kingsman. I'd still rather watch this than Kingsman, to be fair. So yeah, it is, as you say, it is what it is. It was a moment in time. Actually, I was surprised that it was after Lethal Weapon. And then once I got the thought in my head of but this is after Lethal Weapon, I was like, it's just they've just ripped off loads of stuff from almost. If this was made in 1983, first of all, I think it could have been made in, maybe the graphics wouldn't have been as good in 1983, but this would totally fit in as a 1983 movie. 1991, you're like, that's actually quite late. That's actually post a lot of kind of more mainstream movies. So
he was tired though. He'd done so many movies before this. You don't remember?
He's just trying to fit it into his schedule.
Yeah,
and I don't know whether you knew, but he plays both characters.
It's
in
also
this movie,
doing twice as much work as anyone else.
Nice. Wow. What have you got for us next week?
Next
another
week,
Twins, or...
as we move around and then we continually move back and forth across the genres. So we stay fairly close in year with 1986, but we move back to animation. So a classic.
Nice.
74 minutes. Is that the lowest? I think that is the lowest film so far. Very, very short, just over an hour.
Yeah.
And so much to get through in that hour. Rotten Tomatoes, 74 audience, 81 critics. Very big, popular with the critics. One explosion, 2 deaths, a casual 120 animated characters. Not sure that's completely right. I might have got that wrong. But here we go. This is the clue. A Victorian micro Sherlock navigates a dark subterranean underworld to match wits with the world's greatest criminal rat. So, there we are.
Nice.
Absolute classic.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I've not seen it. So this will be a new one. As an animated movie, we'll have to bring on our animated expert.
Yeah.
And head out
for sure.
Head out to the to the patio.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for that. We're going to leave it there. We're going to spend some time in the bar, still trying to figure out how to half this egg white.
Yes.
We're 5 shots of Hennessy down, but so far we haven't been able to half the egg white. I'm not sure it's going to get
with
easier
your
as
protein
the Hennessy
powder
goes
last week, and now your egg whites this week,
and
you're gonna be all over it. Yeah.
It's going to be like JCVD. All of a sudden, my shirt's going to accidentally get ripped off, and you're going to see all of my muscles.
If you start doing the splits at the bar, I'm leaving. You can clear up yourself.
I've had a few Hennessy's. I'm going to give it a go, and we'll see whether I make it next week.